Welcome to Attack of Opportunity, starring GM Jeff Ball.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Attack of Opportunity. Today, riding shotgun live is Matt Witt because he keeps showing up to these anyway. So, since I'm afraid that actually Matt, your name, and me, my name, is going to come up with today's guest, we're going to tag team Mr. Ryan Messina, who plays Merrick, the Russian mercenary in our We Shot First actual play podcast for Star Wars Dawn of Defiance campaign.
Wait, I'm getting attack of opportunity here?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I took reflex of opportunity here. I think I get to attack you first.
Nope.
Don't worry, gentle.
Combat reflexes gives you multiple attacks, but we are attacking you.
You know, with that silky voice, how can I refuse?
This silky voice will ask you the first question that we love to ask all of our guests on Attack of Opportunity. Was there a defining moment in your childhood or later when you knew or decided to become a geek, a nerd, one of us?
Oh, it was clearly indefined. It's when I understood THACO.
THACO? The word THACO, 2-hit armor class 0?
Yeah, no, when you understand THACO, you've taken a dedication to algebra that physicists haven't jumped to.
And when did this happen for you?
I was a young lad, and for Christmas, my folks had given me the gift of D&D. And it was right after D&D had come out of its post-mortem of being the devil worshipping device that it is. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
And it became into something where it's like, all right, if you can understand this math, this game's for you.
And did you like said game? Were you like a DM and gathered your little friends, or were you a player? Like the owner of the box?
I was introduced to D&D 2nd Edition close into the realms at the same time that Final Fantasy VII came around. So I wrote my own content.
Cool.
Yeah. I had made in-game ways for you to actually become weapons because Final Fantasy VII weapons were way cooler than any of the main characters you got to play at. And yeah, D&D was like the bomb. I had my clutch group of friends, which I had taught how to play D&D. But of course, I ignored the main rules that they would need to know how to play equally. I was like, oh yes, but reflex saves are important to play web.
What year was this? How old were you?
Jesus, you're looking at, let's see, grade 6, backwards, preteen. You're looking about anywhere between
12, 13 type of deal?
Yeah, in that ballpark. Atypical preteen scenario.
Right on.
Because it took me years. I remember getting the game before said time period, but finding people to play it with me was hard, especially growing up in rural northern Ontario.
Yeah, because, I can relate.
Yeah, 36 acres of land, and moo does not translate into, so do you attack the troll or not attack the troll? I'm going to take that as you attack the troll.
Matt, I'll let you in with the next question because I have a feeling that since the three of us are friends and I reached out to him and reached out to you and you interested me and this kind of thing.
I'll go even further back than that. I know some things about this guy.
What?
Ask him some deep, dark personal questions then.
Leave the wedding party out.
So, Ryan, I know I met you a very long time ago, coming pretty close to 20 years now.
Yeah, is it not nuts?
I know, it is crazy. We're old men now. But I know how I met you, and video games and D&D were all part of that, like Nerd Fest that we enjoyed for a few years back in the late 90s there.
Yeah.
But prior to meeting me, you had a pretty solid gaming group that you were playing with on the regular.
Yeah.
You want to share some of your geeky favorite moments from those days?
Gladly. No, back in said day, that's back in the glory days of 3rd edition D&D. And my pride and joy was a ranger that I had multi-classed. Wait. He was a ranger, turn prestige class, turn prestige class, turn prestige class, turn prestige class. He went Deepwood Sniper. He went the classes. I would need the sheet in front of me, to be honest.
Oh, I remember this guy. This was the guy who could like shoot like 1,000,000 arrows every round.
No, because multi-shot was broken back in 3rd edition.
Yeah.
It was highly broken. It was for every +5 you could get on your attack roll, you could throw another arrow into it. And when you get up to being an epic level character with multi-shot, rapid shot, +5s, or you throw them out there, you can end up with 5, 6, and each arrow is like would destroy a small Tyrannus.
Oh, the days of epic.
No, well, 3rd edition was fun, but it was too much. Harm was out of control, and that was our base level.
Oh, right on. Yeah, those were good times back then. So, how did you start gaming with Jeff and I?
Well, that's you had approached me, and you said there was an opportunity to play because we had been dry for playing games for a little bit. For real life rolling D20s, but you said that you knew a guy, he wanted to play Star Wars, and there was a role-playing game. I'm like, I had no idea there was such a beast, but the fact that rolling dice was available and rolling it with my buddy was also available was a highlight. I went with it, and then I realized that there's this whole game called Star Wars Saga Edition, and it ran very similar to D&D 3rd edition, and that was a phenomenal experience because I'm still playing Merrick, my first character that I actually ever made in Star Wars Saga. He loves machine guns and he loves explosives, and I realized that by a simple build could allow me to carry it through with what I wanted to do. I'm like, wait a minute, I can throw bombs like all the time. I just need to like grab radios.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait till we get to start playing with that.
Oh, it's going to be fun. Hella glory. Especially with the fact when we can leave them behind as mines. It's going to be so much time. It's a good thing that Jeff keeps his hair short.
Yeah, and I mean, back then we met a few people. I think that's when Aaron got his first foray. That's Jeff's son into RPG tabletop style stuff.
Oh yes, I remember playing with Aaron. There's 2 characters specifically. There was a fuzzy lightsaber, and then there was a murder robot.
Oh yeah.
It was one of the 2 or a combination thereof. No, Star Wars is a fantastic game for that regard. It's essentially like 3rd edition, except it lets you go 3rd edition without the game breaking of it. You can game break Saga edition, but it will game break you back.
Well, I think another thing that was a part of the fun running that, because it was a new system to all of us. So Jeff just kind of said, "What character are you playing?" Well, I'm going to leave you in charge of figuring out the gameplay for that, and everybody had their own little niche that they had to pick up on.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were playing Merrick then. What was you were doing all the
power armor and heavy weaponry. So basically machine guns and armor. Totally fun.
And
that's why.
So we each learned our own little part of the game, and I think Jeff gave you crafting rules as well as a bunch of explodey stuff to learn.
Well, yeah, because there was actually I was really inspired because at the same time the Judge Dredd movie had come out, and I was trying to merge force powers and gunplay, not trying to meta too much, but their meta force powers are awesome and guns are also awesome. So there's actually an available set of rules that if you actually work them to the maximum, you can actually make yourself a Judge Dredd style lawbringer in the Star Wars universe.
That's so cool.
It is so cool. It takes a heavy investment, but it is so.
So is that something that you're actually going to build towards with Merrick?
No, the way I see Merrick's intention is going is that power armor, heavy weaponry, and explosives. And there's no reason to go micro. Maybe macro?
Okay.
Make bigger, make more. Because now, Yeah, doing the grenades, I can do grenades every day, all the time. So I think the future for America would be what's the biggest bomb?
Okay, right on. Well, so that's going to lead me up to the next thing a little bit. What got you into the whole podcast thing here with us?
Yeah, I had to think back to the original days. The name eludes me, but you'll know it. Raslin, part of.
Oh, okay, yes, the
whole
Dragonlance.
Dragonlance Saga. Dragonlance Saga was originally inspired by just a who got it together, and one person out of them decided to act. One person out of them actually decided, and it was just a group of friends getting together once a week, playing an RPG. And I saw the exact same thing that we're doing. We're getting together once a week. We're having our stories where the communal storytelling is happening. If we just record it, we could be the next Dragonlance.
That's right. You were with me when Jeff hauled me out to the coffee shop when we had the big discussion there.
Yep.
Ahaha, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I remember that. So, basically, if
at least
out of the blue, we'd been playing we hadn't been playing Star Wars for about a year, and we were all kind of missing the game. And Jeff called up and threw past us, and I think maybe we had played a little bit on Roll20.
Yes. I don't realize that we hate Roll20, how it hates us.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. I actually don't mind it at all. I think it's a great platform.
It's a great platform, but
the dice are just way too cruel.
Yeah, it's like Rihanna and Eminem music video. and it's going to happen, and it'll do the job, but by the end of it, you're not going to like what you get.
Yeah, and we were sitting in the coffee shop chatting away about doing it, and remember that just random girl walked by, and she's like, "Oh, you should totally do that. That'd be fun."
Yep. No,
Jeff,
exactly.
And of course, Jeff being Jeff got super stoked and inspired by this.
Yeah. Random inspire number one. I imagine in time Jeff will build a statue in her name.
or his own.
Well, this statue of Jeff inspired by.
Oh yes, of course. Well, he does give credit where credit is due.
Exactly. Even if it's in the footnotes.
Speaking of Jeff, let's get him back in here. I think he's got a few questions to ask.
Heard my name. What?
Ha ha ha.
Sorry. I ran away. Is the interview over?
No. We were just talking about when we all got together at the coffee shop a couple years ago to talk about the whole idea of doing the podcasting.
Oh, yeah. We'd stopped playing Star Wars and we started playing on Roll20 with Josh, my old buddy, and got gaming because no one could keep showing up. Remember how many times somebody randomly would show up, like Rob's sick, and then we'd all got sick because we're all in a tight space in the basement? So we pitched the idea of like, oh, let's play on Roll20, and then we could just sit at home in our jammies and play, and it wasn't such a hassle to come over and blow all kinds of money on food and everything. And Aaron kind of got away from playing with us. He, aged 2 years and went from the starry-eyed 14, 15-year-old going, cool, playing Star Wars with dad's friends, to like 17 going, no, I'm done. I'm good.
Overwatch.
Yeah, got his own crew. We're playing on Roll20, and some of the random players that had joined us that we didn't know or whatever. One was she ran a stage show, and she was literally at work but playing with us, and we're like, are you in trouble? Like, should you be doing this? She's like, oh no, I got to flick some switches or whatever. And I can't remember her name, but she was talking about us recording how much fun we were to play with, and we record. Because I had, as we said, your GM acts like a game show host. Now, that's not necessarily a good one, good idea or compliment, but
definitely have that kind of air to you.
Energy. Get in front of a microphone, and
you're very enthusiastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Did I do that in person in the basement, or just when I'm on the mic on the computer?
I think it's just kind of you, dude.
Well, thank you, and our next guest. And we went home and we played, and I went home and we played, that kind of thing. A couple of weeks went by, and I just got it stuck in my head, and I was like, yeah, we could do this. And I just got it in my brain that we have to do this. And then I called you guys up and we sat at the coffee shop, and it was like running all my ideas past you. Cause you know me, I have like a dozen ideas and I love them all cause they're my ideas, and I need to pick one cause some of them conflict. So I'm like, guys, we think about this. We'll do this, or how about this? And Mongers was born, but not that name. We went through people, we went through auditions, we went through all the stuff. We had the pilot for Mummy's Mask.
We were still
and then
kind of
tanked, and yeah.
And then we even dropped the first episode.
We lost everyone to work jobs, and we spent a year. I picked up Connor Besh online at Roll20, and he and I did auditions for a year because you guys bailed. And then,
work.
Yeah, no, but Ryan's Messina's Marvelous Minis, your new business out of his basement, and now he's got a 3D printer and he's cranking them out.
Yep.
And that took up all your time. And then I remember going over to your house and your basement, and you're showing me your layup of how you and Loretta were like making these. And I'm talking like he had pails of paste and pails of powder. This isn't like I go down to the geeky shop and pick my little pewter mini and paint it. He was making this shit from scratch. He was making molds to make them generically and sell them as really elaborate. And him and Loretta were doing it together and painting and everything. And he was making D&D bookshelves and D&D alchemy labs. And it was really cool.
Still am.
So I almost left. I was like, "This is really cool," and I'm thinking in my head, he's not gonna come back. He's not gonna be free. But hat in hand, I pitched to him, "Please come back. We need an extra guy. You know, we'll play. Rogue One came out. We'll play Star Wars. What do you think?" And a star was born. He had characters all ready to go. I believe the deal was that your day job had leaned off a bit on Friday, and you actually had a bit of time. Came back to us.
Yeah, it was basically I was in charge of more of the projects I was running, so I was able to push Thursday, making my Friday more available.
Well, next question we'd have for you is, when you're making up characters, do you lean on the evil or the good axis? Is there a type of thing? Do you have a favorite character class? Or
I cannot do evil. If you're looking for my crux, my pin, I am goodly natured, and that is something that bleeds in.
So chaotic neutral at best?
Chaotic good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can occasionally do a neutral good.
No, that's especially the old school gaming. We recently did an interview. We had Connor interview Clinton, and he said the exact same thing. He's like, he believes in the whole, he was raised on the hero, and you play the hero, and it's in him, and he just really enjoys that. The new anti-hero that came out late 80s, early 90s, and bled through Wolverine and all that kind of thing, Spawn and Batman, all the stuff that the next generation has embraced.
I love Venom. Venom's my boy.
You can't. I wouldn't say Venom's evil, but that dude's messed up.
He's not. Venom just deals what needs to be dealt with. He's an extremist, in my book.
Okay.
Well, terms like good and evil are subjective, right? Like,
yes,
what's good to one person may be evil to another.
The boards and the alignment system. So many people in DMs and even pro YouTubers have that, in the bag. Matt, you got another question for him?
Here, anyways.
We're editing. It was just in the middle of the Ryan interview. Photobombing is what we do. It's Jay Tamlin, everyone. Switch over to his. All right. I forget the last question.
Have everyone ask a question. Everyone.
Okay.
Across the board.
So Ryan, we're on the tail of a game, and our players are showing up. So we're gonna go to the board. We're gonna ask Aiden and Frank and Jay, if they have any questions for you.
So essentially, you want me to point to everywhere on the doll when they ask me the question.
Something like that.
Okay, fair enough.
Come on, Frank, you got something. I know you got something.
Okay, Ryan.
Be merciful, because you're the next interview that we're going to post.
So when you think back on illustrators for the gaming industry, was there a particular picture, image, a stylization, any kind of design that kind of influenced you or inspired you, or your character making?
That's an awesome question. I wish somebody asked me that question.
Heavily Frank, solid question. I love 1950s illustration. I love the Fallout series just based on their illustration series. I haven't played it since Fallout 3, but I love their art deco of it. More recently, I'd have to say the Fallout series, which is more of a 1950s art aesthetic, which is along of very much pastels, very much on that muted color. Love that art style. Love that music style.
Right on. Jay, you got a question for him?
Come back to me.
I don't know you. I don't like you.
he's busy slaving away making a 5th level cleric for me because
we're introducing Frank to 2nd edition tonight, and he's like, "What is going on?"
I've asked the biggest question. So if you were to make a 5th level cleric, what would you make?
Healbot.
A mess.
Aiden.
I guess to kind of go off your previous answer, what are your top 3 genres of music?
Top 3 genres of music? I'd have to say
that inspire fantasy. I think he's going,
Yeah. No. It's
clearly K-pop.
Frank, you said you would never spoil that. That's the last time I trust you with any secret of mine. No, I'd have to say, because jumping off that 1950s, I'm a big jazz fan. I played the alto sax for over 5 years, so I'm an easy sucker for jazz. Specifically, I like Caravan Palace. They're a fantastic band. Give them a listen if you've never listened.
They do the new techno swing stuff.
They're a French-based band. They combine modern swing with old-time jazz. Other forms of music, Andrew WK, love that guy. He does more of the heavy metal. He's an opposite of jazz, but he is definitely my boy who has hair that and failing that, Alan Walker before he got popular.
These questions actually aren't in our original interviews, so I'd like to ask the floor, like Matt, an artist, fantasy artist, and music for you, because I know that's missing out of your original interview.
Oh, well, for me, fantasy art, that's actually one of the things that really attracted me to fantasy in the first place, was the cover art on some of the books. And back in the day, Tor employed an artist by the name of Boris Vallejo.
Ooh.
And, fantastic artwork, like hyper realistic, I guess you could say, like almost Renaissance style.
Cool.
Like crazy, and I think it was a picture of a woman riding a Pegasus through this like golden clouded like celestial sky, and it was like one of the first like images that really grabbed. I don't even remember what book it was, but it just totally captured my eye when I was walking by, and I was just like, oh, I'll read that.
For me, Jeff Easley had a bright palette. Parkinson had a dark palette. But if I had to pick a favorite, was the Dragonlance artist Larry Elmore. Drew everyone with that awesome wavy 80s hair, and I just freaking loved it, all of his art. Those three are my favorites. And like you said, back in the day, being attracted like through the artwork, those moments in time of fantasy, and you're looking at the characters and stuff going, yeah, this is real. Oh my God, I look like this. What about you, Frank?
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, one of the first D&D products that I ever stumbled across was actually a basic box set where Elmore was featured on the cover art, that has a swordsman kind of slashing horizontally at a red dragon. I mean, and that just, it just speaks to you. I mean, it's cartoonish in its design, but it's a masterfully done kind of piece of illustration.
My favorite Elmore art is the Elven Princess Lorana standing over the body of the Knight Strum.
Yeah.
It's epic. And there's a sort of a generic one where you have a wizard in a red robe and his brown 80s hair, and he's around a corner and he's holding back a female adventurer, and they're sneaking up on an ice dragon, and it's just kind of turning its head. And there's frost painted on their hair, and he give you an idea of how cold the room is. He had like an air effect going. The colors and everything he used and everything. It was really, really cool. I just want to get those in a mural. If I ever get any serious money, I'm just going to plaster. I always dreamed of making like a D&D. Like, I never thought I'd be here taking a spare bedroom and making it sort of a garbage recyclable studio, taking $20 old Dell monitors and lining them up on my table and buying computers and stuff like this, an old television to be the studio, and throwing some money at a microphone. I pictured a big table with, commissioned Elmore art and Jeff Easley on the wall, kind of thing, and having people over forever and ever.
The future is now. You should throw that art up. You should on your green screen. should find those images and fire them up.
Yeah. Well, in the video version of this. What about what about our younger cast there? We're talking about ye old days. What about you, Jane Aiden? You have any artwork that drew you in to D&D while we're on the subject? Particularly Aiden, whose interview has already gone up and gone.
Jay, do you want to go first?
He's got the proverbial hall pass.
Sure. I actually don't have any specific artists, just because I find that a lot of the older style art for me just doesn't resonate. I grew up with anime, so I do tend to default to that, but I can't pin one specific artist for that kind of thing.
So you're saying something like watching Princess Mononoke from Ghibli Studio? It's a huge fantasy film, and then you just like, what? Yes, I want to be the archer. And now you're playing a samurai archer.
Actually, I don't really associate Ghibli films with fantasy. I do, like, they are in and of themselves fantasy stories, but they don't make me want to go out and play D&D.
I knew that would set him off, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get me started on Ghibli. They sold it to Disney. What?
Triggered.
Oh, no. I love Ghibli. Like, there's a lot of really good ones. But no, it's for me, I grew up when digital media is so prevalent that my imagination is kind of just as, basically there's so much input and visual input that I can find that my imagination just kind of coalesces everything.
Yeah, no, we follow you. Like back in our day with Elmar art, that was all there was. So it's like being on a desert island and being fed a cracker, and you're just going, "Oh my god, this is so great!" You know, because we were hungry for fantasy. There wasn't a lot of it. And then, like you guys now from the '90s on, are just
talk about how awesome the world has become. Like, you know, like you go from being a nerd to being some sort of fantasy guru.
I remember back in my day when Elmer was a painting, and yeah. Now, fast forward, and what about you, Aiden?
Well, for like D&D and Pathfinder stuff, I kind of agree with Jay. Most of the older art doesn't hold it as much for me, but the first like actual like fantasy role-playing book that I've ever, like the cover art that I've seen was the Pathfinder module, The Dragon's Demand, which features like a green dragon fighting a female elven sword user. I thought that was like really cool. But for me, what really kind of got me into the fantasy aspect is video games. And like the Legend of Zelda series, where you play like pretty much an elf, sword and board and fighting.
Even the Nintendo 64, that was very artistically, like, breaking animation in video game. I'd still put that up there, sure.
Yeah, the three-dimensional, getting started with that. And then leading into the Dark Souls series, which is a very like fantasy-oriented RPG style, and that started to get me into more RPG-esque games, and then eventually into tabletop games.
Awesome. Well, this has been Attack of Opportunity, and we've talked to everyone but Ryan Messina. Maybe he'll finish his interview.
That's cool.
Say goodnight, everybody, and stay tuned soon for the Frank Hamilton / Jay Tamlin, the other part of their interview, coming to a playlist near you. Say goodnight, Mr. Messina.